Unique expression means to me not being afraid to be your true self. If it means being unique or different, we need to be more open and courageous and brave and showing who we are truly as ourselves, our individual self, and being able to express it and to be your true self in front of people, in front of at work, in front of your loved ones.
Dr. Tamiko MaGee-Rodgers, servant leader, researcher, speaker, educator, and advocate, has worked in the field of aging for more than 15 years. Tamiko's clinical research experience has resulted in several journal publications and conference presentations and posters. Her most recent work is the publication of her dissertation entitled The Character Strengths of Nursing Home Administrators Who Lead Exemplary Long-Term Care Facilities. She is passionate about bringing awareness, educating, and improving the health disparities among African Americans, aging populations, and improving recruitment of underrepresented populations in Alzheimer's clinical trials, and elevating people to be more supportive, conscious, and compassionate leaders. She is a woman of faith, a wife, and a mother of four. This is your moment to choose your true you and finally be. So Tamiko, that was such an impressive bio. I think of all of the accomplishments that you've had, and it really inspires me as a person. You've been a person I recognize every day as someone I want to experience the same type of life. You do these things that I know that you do to connect with people, and you're really generous about how you do things. Even with your family, I see you with your family and your children and your husband, and you really have this way about making sure people are seen. And that's something that one of the reasons I really wanted to connect with you, because not only do you make other people see that they're seen because of the care that you put into each piece in your life, but also because you're really work on being transparent about how you feel and how you think about things. And I know a lot of times you're very analytical, um, but you still make time for that emotional piece. And I just really appreciate that you're joining me today on this podcast. And I just want to dive in. How you
I'm
feeling?
feeling good. Happy to be here.
Good. Great. Well, tell me a little bit about let's say your origin story. Like, how did you get motivated or get started with just the journey that you're on right now in your life?
So honestly, I would say it started when I was in fourth grade. Yeah. So I can remember my teacher. I wasn't doing well. I was kind of like getting like D's and C's. And I know. And so my teacher at the time, she noticed potential in me, and she set me aside and just said, "You know what, Tamiko, you can do better than this. What's this with these C's and D's? You can do so much better." Right then, I don't know, it was a light bulb moment. I was like, wow, my teacher sees potential in me and I can do better. So from then on, I said, you know what? I will do better. So I made decisions throughout my life, just to do better. I would just say in school, and then just as a person, I just knew I wanted to help people and just to be there for people, more like a support for people. And I feel like and I know this is kind of going fast forward, but I'm all about servant leadership. And that just describes me as a person. I just love to serve others. I don't need to be in the spotlight because people are like, what, good host, whatever, you're doing good. I rather just be there and just be that servant leader and serve in the way that I can, and helping that person. It's not about me. It's about that person at that time. So that's me. That's started in fourth grade, and it's just been how I've been ever since then. So,
What do you mean by better? When you kind of speak to yourself about being better and moving towards this place of betterment, what does that mean for you?
Better is better is actually that's a good question, Marcy. Better is putting and I know some people say it's better to put the needs of you need to think about yourself, and take care of yourself. But I also want to look out for that other person and make sure having an impact in their lives. So I mean better meaning impacting other people's lives, helping them, helping someone else, making smart decisions, thinking about those decisions, how they may affect me personally, affect my family, just better, just being and I know I don't want to sound cliche, but being a steward of my time and my resources on this earth and just, making those right decisions and serving as a role model for my children, right? What other role models do we want our children to have? But we're with them every day. So I want to be that person where they can see and say, "Oh, mom made this decision. Mom chose to go this route or whatever. Maybe I can avoid that hole I see coming in front of me by, doing so. She has some challenges she faced, and I'm very open and transparent with my kids, and just letting them know this is what you need to do to avoid some of the challenges that I've encountered. So just better as a person, better for my children, better for my husband, and better for my family and just for the other people for people who I interact with every day.
So for you, being better is really making those decisions that's going to include everybody
Yes.
to be able to benefit from you being here and
Mhm.
being present in their life and not causing more uh
Yes.
struggles, I would say.
Yes. Drama,
Okay.
drama, struggle. Yeah.
Drama.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
So so having that mindset of being better and making those decisions, how do you get to that place of making a decision? What determines what is right for you?
Well, I would say my faith is very important to me. So I acknowledge God in everything I do, to make sure it's His will and I'm making the right decision for me. And then just making sure, it is the decision best for myself and for my family. I always want to think about my family because, right, it's not just affecting me, it's also affecting my family. So just honoring God. And then also just, you know, I'm the type that I'm very reflective. So I will reflect on some of the decisions I made in the past. How has that, that decision, what did that result in? Was it a good experience or was it a bad experience? Did I learn from it? Lessons learned, that type of thing. So I just reflect on some of the decisions that I made in life, and it's been very helpful going forward. And I think we should all try to be more reflective, and more aware of our choices that we've made and what kind of lessons we can learn from those going forward.
I like how you said that, being reflective
Mhm.
and more aware because in my life, and some of the things that I working to work with clients on is having that expanded awareness of who they
Mm.
are in this moment, in this time, and having that reflection, that honesty
Yeah.
about yourself,
Right.
because when you start making decisions based on your roles, yes, we do have to think about our families
Mhm.
and our community and
Mhm.
how we serve.
Yeah.
But when we put all of that onto ourselves, we start playing these roles,
Mhm.
right?
Right. Mhm. Yep.
and
Right.
and so making those decisions based on awareness and allowing the information to come in and being open to that, I really, you know, I really resonate with
Mm.
that when it comes to people who kind of reflect on that.
That's
So
great.
cool.
Can I add something else too?
Yeah,
Flexibility.
please.
Flexibility is one of the things that I
Yes.
value is you have to, and I try to teach my children that you have to be flexible because if you're not, it's gonna be a little difficult.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little difficult for you. But like you said, Marcy, I love honesty and like you said, authenticity and also honesty. Yeah, it's all transparency. It's all very important.
Mhm. How do you be honest with yourself?
That's a good question. Um, You have to lay out the facts and just see it for what it is and just be honest, with yourself. if you feel like you're scared, if you feel like you're vulnerable, if you feel like you don't know what decision to make, you just have to be honest with yourself and take time, take that time to think about it, reflect on it, like we said. You know, I just think you just have to lay it out on the table and not try to cover it up and gloss over it and say, oh, that'll be okay, or that will just pass. You just have to, you know, kind of be brave, be courageous, and be honest with yourself. And I think if we are, if that honesty lets us to be more transparent, and it removes that veil, from us, because we can walk around every day and just there's a lot of people I see that are not honest to themselves, and they're just kind of like walking around like a zombie. And it's just, you know what I mean? It's just you have to be honest with yourself. You just have to. And it can be difficult, but I've learned that honesty is the key too. Um yeah.
I really took time to some years back to really start reflecting on what that means,
Mm,
to be
mm,
honest, to really sit down and say to myself, ask these questions of, am I doing this because I want
mm,
something to occur? I have an expectation. Or am I acting this way in order to be more
mm,
myself? Like, does this connect with me? Or is this something that is going to be a problem in the future for me? Because to be honest, I
mm.
don't really want to do
Right.
this,
Yeah.
you know?
That's hopefully yeah. That's what you mean.
And for me, that's what putting all the cards on the
Mm,
table, as you put it, really means, is saying, is this really who I am in this moment?
mm.
Or is this is a role that I'm
That's
playing?
true.
Or is this an expectation that I put on myself or I took on from my environment or my family or maybe society?
Yep.
What do you think about
I
that?
agree. There's many hats, right? That comes to mind. That many hats you got to put on. And I feel like as a woman, as a mother and a wife, there's so many hats you have to wear. And we have to always
Mhm.
take off, put on, take off, put on, multitask. But I agree with what you're saying. Yeah. Being honest, you have to be honest as far as, is it really, like you said, is it truly you? Is it you that you're being honest about, or is it the role for that situation that you're dealing with at that time? And are you making that decision based on that role or who you are as a person? And I agree with that. And that takes a lot of patience and time. I'm still working on that, Marcy. I'll be transparent with you that I'm still working on that, but I'm still trying to be honest with myself and just know that I'm doing it for me, Tamiko, and not the different roles that I might have at that time.
How can you assure yourself that you're doing it?
Um, Again, just truly deep dive within myself and looking inward and just saying, is this, asking myself, is this truly for me, Tamiko, who I am as a person? Is this going to be beneficial to me, or is this decision that I'm, making, is it for me, or is it in these roles and is it for someone else or whatever? I think it's just reflecting, being open, honest, and just truly deep diving and asking yourself. It's difficult, Marcy. Again, transparent. I'm still working on it, but that's how I would answer that question.
What would you say the roles that you act in your life right now that you feel like you struggle with the most?
That's a good question. I would say as a mother, that one is because it's difficult. And the why I say it's difficult, it's having 4 children at different ages. It's like, wow. A 13-year-old, 11-year-old, 2.5, and 1.5-year-old. They all have different
Wow.
needs and different wants, and having to turn it on and turn it off. Like someone's potty training today, or someone needs help with a very hard, math problem, or someone had, has a friend that they're having trouble with. It's difficult. It's difficult. And I would just say making sure I'm true to myself, which we go back to. But then as a mom, making sure that I'm giving them the best advice that I could give them, or, um, showing them the best part of me that I can give them at that time. Because sometimes you want to get angry, you might get upset, you get frustrated, sleep deprived, but you just want to make sure, so you can agree, that you just want to, be the be your very best at that time when you're interacting with your children. And I understand you're gonna make mistakes, and that's what I tell my children. I'm not perfect. I'm human too, and I'm gonna make mistakes, but it's okay. And we're in this together. And I'm here to support you in any way I can. So I would just say, as a mother, that's one of my most difficult roles, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that I agree with that because moving in and out of that mindset, it's really hard to let that go.
Oh,
It's like every moment you're thinking about your kids,
yes.
what they're doing, if they're safe,
Yeah.
if they're happy,
Yeah.
if they need
Yes.
something, if they're quiet, if they're loud, if they're screaming, you know. And
Yeah.
so it's really like you have for myself, and I don't know if anybody agrees with this,
Mhm.
but you really have to remember who you
Mhm.
are because
Yeah.
um the what comes with motherhood is people call it stress, but I think it's called elated energy.
Yeah. I like that.
It's a lot of energy that comes with it when you don't have the energy, and you have
Always.
to keep that level the
Yes.
same,
Right.
regardless, like you said, of being sleep deprived and
Mhm.
things like that.
Mhm.
And I feel like we have to have those reminders that not just been the best for them, but keeping, like you said before, true to yourself
Mhm.
and keeping to that place where, okay, I'm saying this not because this is the manual of motherhood
Mhm.
that no, don't do that, but I'm saying this because I want you to know who I am too as a person, not just as your
Right. Right.
That's really, like you said, it can be a pull,
Right.
a push and pull kind of situation.
Yes.
I really agree with that.
Yes.
So, how do you know with all the different roles that you're playing right now in your life? And I do want to throw that in. You are a doctor.
Yeah.
You have this fantastic career. You're moving things in directions in your life, career wise, and then you have this beautiful family. How do you know you're living fully yourself and not the expectations of your culture or your family or society? I mean, what is determining that for you? Is there some kind of examples you can give us?
Um, I I I would say that I know that I'm living me. I'm being me and not, these various roles or personalities. Is how again, it goes back to that servant leadership. I am my authentic self. I don't change for people. You know, I learned in the various leaders that I've had, the positions that I had. There's, it's more important for me to be my true self than to cater to what they want me to be or what they want to mold me to be. Especially working in corporate America, I've had that opportunity, and it's not easy. But you know what? I just said I'm not gonna change. It's just me. I would tell you, Marcy, I am. I can be reserved, and I know you probably know that. I can be quiet. I'm not as an extrovert. And some people expect me to be more of an extrovert and to be more assertive and speak louder and talk louder, but that's just not who I am. And I'm not going to change me. And I like that about myself, that I am willing to listen and be quiet. And that's just how I am. I'm an observer. But if you need me to comment or provide feedback, I will do that. But I'm not going to just talk just to hear myself talk. I understand the importance of listening, to be that listening ear. And when I need to speak and share my 2 cents, I will. And that's what I've been. I've been that way my whole life. And I've gotten feedback from colleagues that they do appreciate that inner strength that I have. Even though I'm quiet, they know I have that inner strength. And I'm calm, and I've learned to be calm in situations. I don't get rattled. And that's just how I've always been. And I just know that's my true self. So I just know that I'm not going to change myself for any person, any job. And I'm just going to remain true to who I am. And I would say that, Marcy, that's even more relevant right now that I've turned 40 this year. Um, yeah. So I, that's even more important to me. Before I used to care about what people thought or felt. Now I'm just going to be me and just keep it moving and be true to myself in any decision that I make going forward in the life that I live.
What would you say are those? I know it's really hard to define sometimes when we say
Yeah.
just being me. And we named,
Mm,
like you were talking about, the characteristics of, not being an extrovert or not being too
mm,
loud or not being
mhm,
these things. But what would
mhm,
you say were your characteristics of being you? If no one knew you and you were walking down the street, this is who I am. And it's not
mhm,
just something I do, but this is the core of who I am. What would
mhm.
you say the core of who you are is?
The core of who I am is I I value gratitude. I'm I I am always thankful for everything that I have in this life. So I'm always thinking, I'm acknowledging God, and then also just being thankful for the things that I have. And then also one of the things and I don't want to sound cliche, but I'm very kind. And it is not a fake kind. I just think kindness goes so far in life, right? There's no reason to be angry or upset or mad or mean. I just think kindness just gets you really, far. And why not treat people with kindness? I don't. That's just one of my values in life. And then also humility. Humility. And sometimes people will say, "Yeah, it's okay to be modest, but you can also, brag a little bit, or
Yeah.
showcase some of your, achievements." But I'm all about not forgetting where I came from and just being humble and again grateful for the opportunities that I've had, and then also just living and living in the moment. That's all I'm about. Living in the moment, like when with my children, because I know they're gonna quickly grow up and be adults. But I'm just living in the moment and just really, appreciating and I'm enjoying the time that I have with them and just like taking a picture and just saying, "Oh wow, this is," I'm getting to spend time with my 2.5-year-old or my 1.5-year-old, 13-year-old, 11-year-old. It's just cherishing those moments is important to me. And then also, I'm cautious, Marcy. I can be cautious.
Oh,
That's
really?
one thing. I'm trying to think of something. I'm not trying to put all these positive, things, but I'm a very cautious person. That could be a good thing and bad thing. Being cautious is a good thing, but then also it can make you a little risk averse. Sometimes we need to take risk in life, and sometimes it might be a little difficult. But I've always been cautious. And Marcy, this would be one thing if someone wanted to know about me. And I know we talked about this before. I have some close friends, but I don't have a lot of friends. That's just how the person I am. I'm very cautious of who I befriend and the friends that I, keep in contact with. That's just how I've always been. And I'm just also very private. I'm a very private person. I keep a lot of things to myself. I only share certain things with certain people. So,
I see that.
yeah.
I know a little bit about that. So,
And that's why you do. I know you do.
and I like, I love actually how you're saying that's one big takeaway from me is living in that moment.
Mm,
That is something that, you know, with my company that I'm
mhm,
starting now with Finally Be is being in that moment helps you to not take on all your old ideas and bring them into
mm,
what's happening now, and you can experience
mhm,
something new and amazing,
mhm,
releasing that releasing things that is not relevant to the experience you're having right now,
Mhm.
Um, and it's a song that I used to reference from way back. um and it only takes a moment to change things, and it only takes that one moment for that flicker of time for things to be totally different. And when you're
Mhm.
in that moment and appreciating that piece of yourself, I I believe that you create a energy of freedom.
True.
Not just freedom to do whatever you want to, but freedom
Mhm.
to really see
Mm.
fully what is happening in your life right now. It goes back to what you were saying before, that self reflection. If you're
Mhm.
living in that moment, you're constantly doing that. You're constantly being aware and expanding that awareness of what's around you and who you're connected to and what you're allowing to flow out of you.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I really connect to that piece of that being right now, right here,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, to not just enjoy things.
Right.
You can be
Right.
cautious, and it's not a bad thing or a good thing. It's
I
just
know,
what it
right?
is. Being cautious
Right.
is a part of life and making
Mhm.
sure that we're protecting ourselves a lot of times,
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
so I really do think that when people take the time to recognize the moment that they're in, it kind of helps them not to be overly attached, overly
Mhm.
emotional.
Yeah, mhm, that's true.
And
That's
then
true.
also gives them a moment to appreciate and feel the fullness of that appreciation.
Mhm.
Like I hear you say your faith is really important in that. And you, I really don't believe that you can have that relationship with yourself and with God if you're not able to be in
Mm.
that
Mm.
appreciation.
Mm. Mhm.
So yeah, I really
Okay.
love that. I really love
Mm.
that.
Mm.
So I kind of just want to know, um um a tribute to the podcast name. uh what does your unique expression mean to you?
That's a good question, Marcy. Unique expression means to me, again, not being afraid to be your true self, if it means being unique or different, but being courageous to be yourself and to be your true self in front of people, in front of at work, in front of your loved ones. And it's okay, if, I just think I love the unique expression because we need to be more open and courageous and brave and showing who we are truly as ourselves, our individual self, and being able to express it. And expression could be through um, speech, talking, if we like to sing, if we like to write, if we like to, whatever we like to do, and express ourselves. I actually enjoy listening to music. I feel like I'm able to be my true self and express myself. When, I know, listening music and listening to music, because that's what I just really enjoy it. And I feel like I'm myself when I'm my most unique self when I'm actually listening to music. Because I'm blocking everything out. I'm just, listening to what I enjoy listening to. And I'm able to just be, again, we say in that moment and enjoy that moment. So, um, yeah, that's how I would describe it to be. And I think we should do a lot more of it, whatever that may mean, because everybody might have their own definition. But that's what it is to me. And I think we should all do a lot more of that, uniquely expressing ourselves.
What do you most appreciate about you, yourself as a person, and the world that you're creating?
These are great questions, Mercy. what I most appreciate about myself is being that authentic person. It, I know that saying, "What you see, what you get." I don't know. That's just how I am. I appreciate that I am able to be empathetic and understand what empathy is, and I think that is very important in these times that we're living in. Um, I'm able to connect and talk with anybody. I really actually enjoy meeting new people, learning from people, even though they may have different views and opinions from me. I can respect them as a person. It doesn't mean we have to argue or get it. I just love. I actually love that. Even though I said I wasn't an extrovert, right? But that one to one time with someone that doesn't have share my same opinions or interests. I just love learning about other people's perspective. And that's one thing I can appreciate myself about myself because we don't do that a lot these days. We don't care other people's perspective. We just shut them down, shut them out. Nope, you're not thinking or you don't have my same perspective. You don't share what I share. I'm done. But I think we just need to be more open, more aware of others. That there's other people out there that do have different perspectives, and it's okay to respect them. You can agree to disagree. But that's one thing that I feel that's how I'm creating my world. Is to show that inclusion, right? It's important. Um, and it's helped me throughout my life to just show and to be an example to others, to model to others that and modeling to my children. Like, I think of it like when we go out, treating people that might not look the same as we do, may not, again, have the same opinions, but treating them with respect. And I hope my children can learn from that going forward because I think that will help them in life and just showing that respect. And even can I plug older adults too? I think that's so important. I have a love and high respect for older adults, and that's why I, you know, love working in the older adult population because I just love and value my older adults my relatives when I was growing up. Just having that time to spend with them, it actually shaped me as a person to respect them, because they have a lot of wisdom to share and we can learn from them. So that's how I'm creating my world.
It's beautiful. I love that. I love how you're so thoughtful, first of all, of what you're going to say. And I love that because you really are thinking things, like, how is this relevant for me?
Mm,
How is this relevant in
mhm,
my life? And I really appreciate that. And just what you're saying, that I see that as who you are is,
mm.
uh, if you can say one core word, um, just all of those ideas and that you've created for yourself and that you appreciate about you. If you say one core thing or one core word, what would that be for you? What would be your core word that would describe you? I have one for you. Go
Yeah, I don't want to use your word, Marcy, because I was going to
ahead.
say
Go
no. I was going to say thoughtful, because I'm in yes, and sometimes I would say I'm very sensitive too. I'm thoughtful but sensitive to the situation too that I'm in and sensitive to others. Um, trying to think one word. I don't know. I know I've shared a lot. I don't. I would say grateful, but I don't know. I already said that, but I would love to hear yours, Marcy.
I would say that you're a connector, that
Oh,
you because I think connection is something that's on different planes. Um,
huh.
it's recognizing that you hold a space, but other people are holding that space with you. And I see you doing that so often, even in your career and how you're doing that with your family. And even what you were talking about today is just like you make sure that you're connected, but you also make sure that the things are around you, because with appreciation and being thoughtful for other people, that's all based on connection. That's all based on you radiating something that says you can come in, you're not by yourself, you know what I'm saying? That, like you said earlier, that you're a support for people. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you, Marcy.
Yeah, no problem.
Mhm.
So that's we're gonna wrap up with one last question for you, my dear.
Okay.
What would you like the listeners to know about you, how to connect with you, or any resources or information you want to share?
Okay. Yes. I right now, like I said, I'm very passionate, and Marcy knows, about older adults. And that's the space I'm in right now. And I am all about um improving and educating our African American Black population, our community, on um, Alzheimer's disease and other health disparities that are affecting us. I think it's important that we are educated in these therapeutic areas, and then also are aware of what's going on in our community. So I right now just very passionate about improving access to Alzheimer's clinical trials. So if anyone is interested in learning more, you can contact me on my email. Marcy, I don't know if you're going to provide that or
Yes,
not.
I can provide
Okay.
that. Yeah. You can reach Tamiko MaGee-Rodgers at for her email TAMIKORODGERS at gmail.com, and for Facebook Tamiko MaGee-Rodgers, and for her LinkedIn Tamiko MaGee-Rodgers PhD CCRP. And if you want more information about some of the other works that she's doing, you can go to the globalzplatform.org. That's GLOBALZPLATFORM.org.
Okay. All right. My email address. And then also, I also have a LinkedIn page, and as well as Facebook page, but you can connect with me, and I have resources I can share if you're interested in learning also about leadership too. That is one of my passions as well. Because when we speak of leadership today, wow. Yeah. We have different leaders that are out there, and what is an effective leader. So I have a lot of information I can share if you all are interested, and feel free to contact me anytime.
Well, I would love to have you back on.
Yeah,
And maybe we
great.
could talk a little bit about that leadership, because
Yeah.
it sounds like I seen your whole face light up when you start talking about it. And I love talking about people and what they give to this world. And I want you to feel free to do that the next time you come in. Okay.
That would be great. I would love to.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Until next time, thank you, Miss. I'm sorry, Dr. Tamiko Rogers.
Marcy.
All
Thank,
right.
thank you, Marcy. It's been a blast.
Hey, I really enjoyed today's episode. And if you did too, and know somebody that would benefit from listening to this podcast, please share. I love connecting with new people. And remember to choose your true you. Start living from your wholeness, because you're the key to the life you really want. This is the Finally Be podcast. Blessings of light, love, and effortless joy.